let's go to a favorite. Okay? A favorite in the bar exam, which is section 112. Okay? Napaka-paborito nito sa bar exam. Section 112 of the NIRC. So kung meron man isa sa mga sections na dapat kabisado mo or provision ng batas sa tax code, ito ay ang section 112. Okay? Ng National Internal Revenue Code. Year after year, laging may tanong na kinukuha dito sa section 112, and that is the refund of input tax. Okay? Refund of input tax. Ano ba yung kwento nitong refund of input tax na to? Okay? Refund of input tax. Okay. Puntahan natin tong scenario na to. Okay? Puntahan natin tong scenario na to. Okay. This is si A nagbenta kay B goods. Yan. Assuming A is a VAT registered taxpayer and B is a VAT registered taxpayer. Okay, dahil VAT registered taxpayer si A, halimbawa, nagbenta siya dito ng 1,000 worth of goods at nag-charge siya ng 120 na VAT. This is the gross selling price and this is the 12% VAT. So, ang total na binayaran niya, 1,120. So, dahil binenta niya kay B, si B, meron siyang 1,000 na goods at meron siyang 120 na input tax. Okay? Dahil ito nga, dahil si A ay nagbenta, output niya to. Dahil si B yung bumili, input tax niya yan. Okay. Anong ginawa ni B doon sa goods na ibinenta niya? Okay? Binenta rin niya, pero export sales. Okay? Binenta niya, pero export sales. Okay. Dahil export sales yan, subject yan saan? Sa 0% VAT. At kung subject yan sa 0% VAT, no output tax. Tama? Because the sale is zero rated. Bakit siya zero rated? Dahil export sale made by a VAT registered taxpayer. By a VAT registered taxpayer. Okay? So, at the end of the period, magkukompute na si B. Sabi niya, meron akong output na 0. Dahil export sale siya sa lahat. Pero meron akong input. Okay? Meron akong input tax. Magkano? 120 ang kanyang input tax. So, meron ba siyang VAT liability? Wala siyang VAT liability. Because mas mataas ang input tax niya sa kanyang output tax. Okay? Mas mataas ang input tax niya kaysa sa kanyang output tax. Okay? Now, scenario number 2. Si A, nagbenta kay B. Same, 1,000. Okay? Tapos, nag-charge siya ng 120 na VAT. So, 1,120. So, si B, merong goods na nagkakahalaga ng 1,000. Tapos, meron siyang 120. Ano ulit itong 1,000? Goods. Itong 120, ito ang kanyang input. Tama? Dahil binili niya kay B. Binili niya kay A. So, itong 120, output naman ito ni A. Anong ginawa ni B? Binenta niya yung goods na to, domestic. Binenta niya to, domestic. Okay? Kanino? Kay C. Dito lang sa Pilipinas. So, domestic sale lang to. Okay? Domestic sale lang siya. Hindi niya binenta lahat. 500 lang ang nabenta niya. Okay? 500 lang ang nabenta niya. At dahil 500 lang yung nabenta niya, 60 pesos lang ang output tax na chinarge niya. Okay? So, 560 ang total. At the end of the period, nag-prepare siya ng return. Magkano ang output tax niya? 60. Magkano ang kanyang input? 120. So, may VAT liability ba siya? Ang sagot, wala. Wala siyang VAT liability. Okay? Dahil nga dito, una dito, okay, 60 yung output niya, yung input niya 120, so may excess pa na 60. Labis yung input ng 60. Pero wala siyang VAT liability, wala siyang babayaran sa BIR. Because, okay, mas mataas ang input tax. Dito, wala siyang output, pero may input siya na 120, so may excess na 120. May excess na 120. Ngayon, ang tanong, ano ang pwedeng gawin sa excess na to? Ano ang pwedeng gawin sa excess na to? Okay, dito sa scenario number 2, si B, may option siya to carry over this excess input tax to the next quarter or to the next years. Okay, to the next quarter or to the next year. Okay? Pwede niya yung i-carry over. Ibig sabihin, if in the future magkakaroon siya ng output tax liability, he can use this excess credit to reduce the output tax liability. Okay? Pwede niyang i-carry over. Ngayon, dito sa scenario number 1. Sa scenario number 1, ano ang pwedeng gawin niya dito sa 120? Dalawa ang options na available kay B in this case. Pwede niyang i-carry over, kagaya nito, at pwede siyang mag-file ng refund dito sa 120 na to. Pwede siyang mag-file ng refund. Okay? Sasabihin mo, sir, bakit dito sa scenario number 2, carry over lang ang option ni B? Bakit hindi siya pwede mag-refund? Dito, dalawa, pwede siya mag-carry over, pwede siya mag-refund. Because the option to file a claim for refund of input tax is available only if the sale is zero rated. Okay? Kung hindi zero rated ang sale mo, hindi ka papayagan under Section 112 to claim or to file a refund of input tax. Alin bang nire-refund mo? Yung input tax na binayaran mo sa purchaser mo kasi hindi mo nagamit. Okay? Dito sa scenario number 2, hindi ka pinapayagang mag-refund doon sa 60 because your transaction is not zero rated. Okay? Makakapag-file ka lang ng refund of input tax if your sale is a zero rated sale. Kaya kung titingnan mo, ang Section 112, naandyan yan. Okay? A refund of tax, a refund of input tax on zero rated sale. Okay? You can claim the input tax. You can claim the input tax that you paid, but you cannot file a claim for refund for transitional input tax. Kasi naman, yung input tax na i-refund mo, dapat binayaran mo. Di ba sa transitional input tax, di mo naman yung binayaran, pinayagan ka lang mag-claim yan because you have been subject to VAT for the first time. Okay? So, hindi mo po pwede dyan, ha? You cannot claim transitional input tax for this. Yan ang difference niyan, ha? Kung bakit dito, hindi ka pwede mag-claim ng refund because this is not zero rated. Okay? Kasi, ang mga requisites natin under Section 112, okay, tandaan itong mga requisites na to under Section 112, letter A. Okay? Requisites for claim of refund of input tax. Una, the taxpayer claimant must be a VAT registered. Okay? You must be a VAT registered person before you can claim input tax. Second, the sale must be zero rated or effectively zero rated. Kagaya ng sinasabi ko sa inyo, hindi lahat ng sale, hindi lahat ng taxpayer, hindi lahat ng VAT registered person can file a claim of refund of input tax. Dapat yung sale mo ay zero rated. Okay? Input taxes are incurred or paid. Ito ang reason kung bakit hindi kasama ang transitional input tax. This is the reason why transitional input tax ay hindi kasama. Okay? Kasi dapat ito ay incurred or paid. Next, such input taxes are attributable to effectively zero-rated sale. Ibig sabihin, there is a connection from on the goods you purchase, okay, to your sale or to the services that you rendered. Kung meron ka pang ibang sale, like battable sale or exempt sale, then you have to prorate. Mag-prorate ka. Okay? The input taxes are not applied against any output tax. Hindi mo nagamit, kagaya nito. Wala kang output tax. O kaya naman, mababa ang output tax mo, kaya hindi mo na fully utilize yung input tax mo. And lastly, very important, the claim for refund must be filed within the prescriptive period. Okay? Yan ang mahalaga. Mandatory requirements yan. Okay? Because refund of input tax is akin to a tax exemption, or just like a tax exemption, these requisites must be strictly complied. These requisites must be strictly complied. Okay? It must follow the rule on strictissimi juris. Because again, refund of input tax is akin to tax exemption. Kaya all these requirements must be satisfied. Ang marami nagkakaproblema dito sa prescriptive period. And what is the prescriptive period to file an administrative claim for refund of input tax? Una, bakit administrative claim? Because the claim for refund is being filed to an administrative agency, the Bureau of Internal Revenue. Okay? It is being filed before the Bureau of Internal Revenue, an administrative agency, kaya ang claim mo ay administrative claim. Pag umakyat ka na sa korte, judicial claim na yon. Okay? Because you are now invoking the jurisdiction of the court. But you cannot go immediately to the court. You cannot invoke judicial remedy. You cannot invoke a judicial claim at once. Why? Because we follow the rule on exhaustion of administrative remedies. Dumaan ka muna sa baba. Kung may remedyo ka sa baba, kung may remedyo ka sa administrative agency, doon ka muna mag-file. You cannot invoke, as a general rule, judicial relief if there is an administrative relief. You cannot file directly to the court your claim for refund of input tax without going before, okay, first or going first to the BIR, okay, as an agency in charge to handle your administrative claim. That is the doctrine of exhaustion of administrative remedy. Okay? And what is the requirement for the prescriptive period? Okay, you must file it within 2 years after the close of the quarter when the sales were made. Okay? Where the sales were made. So you must file it within 2 years. Wala namang ambiguity doon sa requirement ng Section 112A kung kailan ka dapat magpa-file. Okay? Ng reckoning. 2 years, ha? Within 2 years. Sa loob ng 2 taon, dapat makapag-file ka. Kailan magsisimula? From the close of the quarter where the sales were made. Okay? From the close of the quarter where the sales were made. So, let us try to illustrate. No? Let us try to illustrate the prescriptive period to file an administrative claim for refund. Okay, illustrate natin yan. Kung titingnan mo to, okay, when the zero-rated sales were made. So titingnan mo muna, ano bang taxable year ang ginagamit ng corporation or ng taxpayer. Kung individual yan, calendar year lang yan. Kung corporation, pwedeng calendar, pwedeng fiscal. Assuming calendar year ang ginagamit natin. Di ba? Ang first quarter natin, January, February, March. Kailan magsisimula? Kailan matatapos ang taxable quarter? March 31, 2015. Okay? March 31, 2015. Nakuha natin, March 31, 2015. Yung second quarter, matatapos yan, April, May, June, June 30. Third quarter, July, August, September, September 30. And fourth quarter, October, November, December. December 31, 2015. Anong ibig sabihin niya? Kapag nagkaroon ka ng zero-rated sale noong January, okay, kailan mag-uumpisa ang 2-year period mo? April 1. Okay? Because January is part of the first quarter. The close of the taxable quarter is March 31. So the beginning of the administrative claim ay April 1. Magsisimula ang administrative claim mo, yung 2-year period ay magsisimula April 1, 2015. At kailan matatapos yon? March 31, 2017. Yan ang 2-year period mo. Okay? Yan ang 2-year period mo. Now, nagkaroon ka ng sale noong February. Kailan magsisimula ang 2-year period mo to file a claim for refund? Still April 1. Because February is part of the first quarter and the first quarter will close on March 31. So April 1 ang simula ng 2-year mo, March 31 matatapos. Okay? Nagkaroon ka ng sale March. Kailan magsisimula ang 2-year prescriptive period mo to file a claim for refund? April 1. Okay? Because lahat sila first quarter. Pero the following day, April 1, nagkaroon ka ng sale. Kailan magsisimula ang 2-year mo to file a claim for refund? July 1 na. Because April is part of the second quarter and the quarter will close on June 30, July 1 ang start, and so on and so forth. Kaya tingnan nyo yung table na yan para makita natin kung kailan nagtatapos yung taxable quarter at kailan nagsisimula ang 2-year period. At kailan naman ito natatapos. So sa loob ng period na to, dito, dapat makapag-file ka na ng administrative claim for refund mo. You can file on the first day, you can file on any day in between, and you can also file at the end of the period, no problem. Pasok na pasok ka sa 2-year prescriptive period. Okay? Pasok na pasok ka sa 2-year prescriptive period. Nakuha natin? Ulitin ko ha. Tingnan mo. Kasi ang rule natin is you file a claim within 2 years from the close of the quarter. Okay? From the close of the quarter. Kaya tingnan mo, sa anong quarter naganap ang sale? Sa anong quarter naganap ang sale? Because that will help you determine kung kailan ang prescriptive period mo. Nangangahulugan class, sa isang taon, 4 yung quarter. Ibig sabihin, 4 na beses din tatakbo ang 2-year prescriptive period. May kanya-kanya silang period ng pagtakbo. Okay? Ang first quarter, natatapos yan March 31. So, ang 2-year period mo, magsisimula April 1 at matatapos March 31. 2 years after. Yung second quarter, matatapos yan June 30. Kailan magsisimula ang 2-year period mo? July 1. Kailan matatapos? June 30, 2 years after. And so on and so forth. Yan ang prescriptive period natin. So, tingnan mo kailan ang close ng quarter at doon ka mag-umpisang magbilang. Okay? Ng 2-year prescriptive period. Ng 2-year prescriptive period. Again, you can file on the first day of the 2-year period. You can file in between and you can file at the end of the period. There is no problem whatsoever. Okay? There is no problem whatsoever. Okay? Walang magiging problema dyan kung magpa-file ka dito sa unahan or magpa-file ka sa gitna or magpa-file ka sa dulo. Ang mahalaga, nakapag-file ka sa loob ng 2 taon from the close of the quarter. Okay? Pwede bang pagsamasamahin mo yung filing mo? Halimbawa ito, year 2015. Kasi lahat ito 2015 eh. Year 2015. Pwede bang mag-file ka ng separately? Separate ang application mo for refund for the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, or fourth quarter? Yes, walang pagbabawal dyan. You can file 4 separate claims. Okay? You can file 4 separate claims. Pwede bang pagsamahin mo yung first and second quarter? Walang problema. Pwede mo bang pagsamahin ng third at fourth in one application? Walang problema. Pwede mo bang pagsamahin ng first, second, and third in one application? Walang problema. Pwede mo bang ihiwalay ng application ng fourth quarter? Walang problema. Okay? Pwede bang itong 2015 ay isang application lang ng refund? Walang problema. Ang requirement lang sa'yo, dapat makomply mo itong 2-year period for every quarter. Okay? 2-year period for every quarter. Sabi mo ganito. Okay. Meron ako 2015, transaction ko 2015. Magfa-file ako ng claim for refund. Para makatipid ako, isa na lang ang application na gagawin ko. Okay? Isa na lang yung application na gagawin ko. Kailan mo final? Okay, nag-file ka October 1, 2015. October 1, 2017. Yan. Okay? Yung sale mo nung 2015, buong 2015, i-final mo siya October 1, 2017. Ano ang effect niyan? Okay? Ano ang effect niyan? Look, kailan magpe-prescribe ang 2-year period ng first quarter? March 31, 2017. Kailan mo final ang nag-iisa mong application covering the whole year? October 1, 2017. Prescribe ka na dito. Nalampasan ka na sa quarter na yan. Next, second quarter. Kailan mag-expire? June 30, 2017. Kailan mo final? October 1, 2017. Prescribe na naman. Okay? Third quarter. Kailan ang last day ng filing? September 30. Kailan mo final ang application mo? October 1. Prescribe na naman. Fourth quarter, kailan magpe-prescribe? December 31. Kailan mo final? October 1. Ito lamang ang nakapasok sa prescriptive period. Ang ibig sabihin ko lang, class, kung gusto mong pagsama-samahin lahat ng application mo, okay? Lahat ng period na to, in one application, be sure you're able to comply the 2-year prescriptive period for every quarter. Otherwise, ito lamang, magagaya ka sa senaryo na to. Isang quarter lamang ang hindi ka prescribe. All others prescribe na. At kung prescribe na yan, automatically, i-deny na yan ng BIR. Okay? Wala ka ng right dyan. Your right already lapsed. Okay? You slept on your right. Okay? Tinulugan mo yung karapatan mo. So, dapat, kung gusto mo mag-file ng maaga-aga, okay? Kung gusto mo isang application lang, di i-file mo March 31. Okay? Kung final mo yan ng March 31, 2017, pasok ba yung first quarter? Yes. Kasi ang last day, March 31. Okay? Pasok ba yung second quarter? Yes. Kasi ang last day, June 30. Pasok ba yung third quarter? Yes. Kasi ang last day, September 30. Pasok ba yung fourth quarter? Yes. Kasi December 31 yung last day. Okay? Again, kung isang application lang yan, be sure na pasok pa rin sa prescriptive period ng every quarter. Otherwise, okay, mape-prescribe ang right mo. Okay, to file. Okay, napaka-tricky niya na nilabas na yan sa bar exam. Okay, maraming nagoyo diyan. Okay? Akala nila hindi pa prescribe. Akala nila kasi dahil December 31 daw yung calendar year, ay di hanggang 2 years mo dito, December 31, 2017. Nakalimutan nila na per quarter ang pagtakbo ng 2 years. Prescribe na itong tatlo. Ito lamang yung hindi. Okay? Ito lamang yung hindi. Okay? So be careful sa pagbibilang natin ng period. Okay? Be careful sa pagbibilang natin ng period. Now, ano yung ating procedure? Okay? With respect to the claim for refund of input tax. Okay? Wala to typo error lang to. Tanggalin ko to. Wala tong to the rule on regularity. Wala to. To. Yan. Delete ko lang to. Yan. Okay. Administrative and judicial procedures in the claim for refund of input tax. Pinag-usapan na natin kanina. First, you must file an administrative claim for refund before the commissioner or his duly authorized representative within 2 years from the close of the quarter where the sales is made. Okay, 2 years marunong na magbilang Yung ginawa natin dito kanina. Kung kailan mo bibilangin ang 2 years from the close of the quarter. Okay, second, the application must include the submission of all official receipts and invoices and other documents in support of the application. In support of the application. Okay? dapat when you submit your documents, okay, the supporting documents must be complete. Okay? The supporting documents must be complete. In fact, the BIR issued Revenue Memorandum Circular number 54-2014, RMC 54-2014. Okay? At ang sabi doon is the taxpayer who files a claim for refund of input tax attributable to zero-rated sale must submit all complete documents. The application must be coupled with the complete documents. Okay? At hindi tatanggapin ng BIR kung incomplete ang documents mo. Ang question, paano malalaman ng BIR na kompleto na ang documents na sinasubmit mo? Under this Revenue Memorandum Circular 54-2014, the taxpayer is required to submit a sworn statement declaring therein that the documents it submits to the BIR in support of the application are already complete. Dapat yung application mo ay may kasama na sworn statement na ang mga dokumentong isasubmit mo ay kompleto na. Okay? Kung wala iyong sworn statement na yon as required by RMC 54-2014, okay, hindi tatanggapin ng BIR. The BIR will not accept an incomplete submission. The BIR will not accept an incomplete submission. Tatanggapin lang yan ng BIR kung kompleto. At paano malalaman ng BIR na kompleto? Because of the sworn statement. Okay? Kung wala yon, hindi yan tatanggapin ng BIR. Why is it important to submit the sworn statement with the complete document? Class, yung application, submission of complete documents, dapat sa loob ng 2 taon yun ha. Ito yung prescriptive period na yun. Your administrative claim duly supported by documents must be made within 2 years. Why is it important to submit the complete documents? Because the period to decide by the commissioner or his duly authorized representative shall only commence from the date of submission or from the date of receipt of the application with the complete supporting documents. Doon mag-uumpisa ang period ng BIR to decide. Okay? And that period is 90 days only. Okay? This 90 days is a period introduced by Republic Act 10963. Under the Tax Code of 1997, the previous period was 120 days. Dati, the BIR, the Commissioner of Internal Revenue, or his duly authorized representative must decide the application for refund within a period of 120 days. But under the train law, pinaikli ng 90 days na lamang. Okay? So yung 120 days under the old and 90 days under the train law I counted from the date of submission or from the date of receipt of the application. So doon magsisimula ang period ng BIR to decide. Should the commissioner find that the grant of refund is not proper, the commissioner must state in writing, okay, the legal and factual basis of the denial. And in case of failure of the agent or employee of the BIR to act within a 90-day period, they shall be punished under Section 269 of the Tax Code. In case of full or partial denial, dininay ang claim mo for refund, ano ang remedy mo? Do not file an MR. Your remedy is to file an appeal within 30 days from the receipt of the decision denying the claim. Where will you file an appeal? To the Court of Tax Appeals in Division. Okay? To the Court of Tax Appeals in Division. So, under the old code, under the tax code, upon submission of complete documents, mayroong 120 days ang BIR to decide. And in case of denial, you have 30 days to appeal to the CTA. Okay? Under the train law, the period is now 90 days. Okay? And the period to appeal, the period of the BIR to decide is now 90 days. Okay? And the period to appeal is still 30 days. This is what you call as the enhanced VAT refund system. This is what you call as the enhanced VAT refund system. Okay? Kaya lang class, okay? Kaya lang class, no? Always remember, no? This 120 plus 30-day period before and now the 90 to 30-day period, these are mandatory and jurisdictional. Anong ibig sabihin ng mandatory and jurisdictional? You have to wait for the BIR to decide within 90 days before you can appeal to the Court of Tax Appeals. Okay? Intayan mo muna na matapos ang 120 days or na makapag-decide ang BIR or Commissioner of Internal Revenue or is duly authorized representative within 90 days. Okay? Before you go to the Court of Tax Appeals. Okay? Ulitin ko muna para hindi malito. Unahin ko muna ito under the old code. Under the old code. Di ba under the old code, 120 plus 30. In the case of San Roque Power Corporation versus Commissioner of Internal Revenue, the Supreme Court declared that this 120 plus 30 days is mandatory and jurisdictional. Okay? Intayan mo munang matapos yung 120 days or makapag-decide ang commissioner or the authorized representative bago ka umakyat sa Court of Tax Appeals. Kung hindi pa tapos yung 120 days at ikaw ay umakyat na sa Court of Tax Appeals, the Court of Tax Appeals will definitely deny your appeal on the ground of lack of jurisdiction because of premature filing. Bakit premature? Hindi pa tapos yung 120 days ng BIR to decide. And yet, umakyat ka na sa CTA. Premature. Okay? Wala pa kaming jurisdiction yan, sabi ng Court of Tax Appeals. Tapusin mo muna yung 120 days. At pag natapos tong 120 days, okay, saka ka umakyat sa amin. Sa loob kasi ng 120 days, dalawa ang pwedeng mangyari. Maaaring sa loob ng 120 days, meron na siyang decision denying your appeal, denying your claim. Hindi pa tapos yung 120 days, may decision na. Pagkatanggap mo ng decision, bilang ka ng 30 days, saka ka umakyat sa CTA. Okay? Ang second scenario is this, inaction. What do you mean by inaction? Natapos na yung 120 days, walang decision ang BIR. Walang decision ang commissioner. Ang tawag natin doon, inaction. In that case, pag natapos na itong 120 days at wala pang decision, you have 30 days to appeal to the CTA. Okay? You have 30 days to appeal to the CTA. Kung natapos na yung 120 days at wala pang decision, bilang ka na ng 30 days at umakyat ka na sa CTA. Within 30 days, you should be able to appeal to the CTA. Pero class ito, sa unang senaryo, may decision, di ba? Kaya hindi pa tapos yung 120 days, may decision. Okay, pag natanggap mo na yung decision, kahit hindi pa tapos yung 120 days at may decision na, pag natanggap mo na yan, bumilang ka na ng 30 days para umakyat sa CTA. Mali na ang gagawin mo, may decision ka nang natanggap. Sabi mo, nakatanggap na ako ng decision, pero hindi pa tapos yung 120 days. Iintayan ko na matapos yung 120 days, tapos saka ako bibilang ng 30 days bago umakyat sa CTA. Mali yun. Okay? Mali yun. Pag may decision na, kahit hindi pa tapos yung 120 days at natanggap mo na yung decision, magsisimula na ang 30 days mo. Magsisimula na ang 30 days mo. Okay? Kung ang ginawa mo, nakatanggap ka ng decision, tapos inintay mong matapos itong 120, nalampasan ka ng 30 days, saka ka umakyat sa CTA. Anong gagawin ng CTA? I-deny din yan. Lack of jurisdiction on the ground of prescription. Kaya pag may decision, bumilang ka na kagad ng 30 days, umakyat ka na sa CTA. Kung wala namang decision at nag-expire yung 120 days, bumilang ka ng 30 days from the expiration of the 120-day period to go to the CTA. These periods are mandatory and jurisdictional. You have to pay attention to that. Otherwise, the Court of Tax Appeals will dismiss your petition on the ground of lack of jurisdiction, either because you filed it prematurely or you filed it belatedly. Kaya you have to observe the 30-day period. Okay? Sabi nga ng Supreme Court, mandatory and jurisdictional yang 120 plus 30 days under the old tax code. Nananatiling mandatory and jurisdictional yan under Republic Act 10963. But this time, the period is 90 plus 30. 90 days na plus 30. Ang kaibahan lang dito, ang issue dito sa Section 112C of the tax code is nawala yung provision on the inaction. Sa Section 112C kasi, under the old tax code, nakalagay talaga dyan sa provision ng batas na in case of inaction or expiration of the 120 days, you can appeal to the CTA. But under the train law, nawala yung provision na yon. Okay? Nawala yung provision na what if nag-expire yung 90 days nang walang decision? Can you go to the CTA and appeal it? So silent yung batas. Okay? Wala pa tayong Supreme Court decision na lumalabas tungkol dyan. Okay, but I think there's already one pending before the Supreme Court. But my view is this. Okay? The inaction for a period of 90 days will also trigger an appeal to the CTA. Okay? It will also trigger an appeal to the CTA, not on the basis of Republic Act 10963, but on the basis of Republic Act 1125. Okay? The law that creates the Court of Tax Appeals. Kasi ang sabi doon, okay, the Court of Tax Appeals has jurisdiction in case of inaction. And inaction is defined as the lack of decision of the Commissioner of Internal Revenue within the period prescribed by law to decide. Inaction na daw kapag may period na ibinigay ang batas para mag-decide ka and yet hindi ka nag-decide. Applying that to the present case, ang Republic Act 10963 or ang train law ay nagmandato sa commissioner kung kailan ka dapat makapag-decide sa claim for refund. Dapat sa loob ng 90 days makadecide ka na. Eh hindi ka nag-decide. So inaction na yun on your part. That gives the taxpayer the right to appeal to the Court of Tax Appeals. And you will cite Republic Act 1125 as amended by Republic Act 9282. Okay? So for me, the provision on inaction is still present. Perhaps not on the basis of the train law, but on the basis of the other law. Republic Act 1125 was amended by Republic Act 9282. Okay? Otherwise, the taxpayer is left without any remedy. Paano kung nag-expire na yung 90 days? Wala pang decision. Di ba? So, ito ang ating rule ngayon, 90 plus 130 days. 90 plus 30 days. 90 days to decide and 30 days to appeal to the CTA. Now, balik ulit ako dito sa 120 plus 30. Ang sabi ko nga sa inyo, you have to wait. Okay? You have to wait for the expiration of the 120-day period before you can appeal to the Court of Tax Appeals. That is the rule. That is the rule. But there is an exception to the general rule. Ano ang rule natin? You have to wait for the 120-day period to expire before you can appeal to the Court of Tax Appeals. Ang exception natin dyan is BIR ruling DA number DA 489-03, which constitutes an exception to the mandatory and jurisdictional nature of the 120 plus 30-day period. Ang general rule, observe the 120 days. Hindi ka po pwedeng umakyat sa CTA nang hindi nag-expire ang 120 day o nang wala pang decision. Kung wala pang decision. So, ang exception dyan is, kahit hindi pa nag-expire ang 120-day period, pwede ka nang umapil sa the CTA. Okay? Ulitin ko lang ang general rule is, you have to wait for the expiration of the 100. Kung walang decision, You have to wait for the expiration of the 120-day period before you can appeal to the CTA. Of course, ang exception, you don't need to wait. Pwede ka nang umapila kahit hindi pa nag-expire yung 120-day period. And yun nga ay pinrovide sa atin ni BIR ruling number DA 489-03. Kaya lang class, itong DA 489-03 has a very limited application lamang. Has a very limited period of application. This is only applicable from December 10, 2003 up to October 6, 2010. Okay? Kapag ang application ay naganap prior to December 10, 2003, the 120 days waiting period is mandatory and is mandatory. Before December 10, 2003. Appeal to the CTA within 30 days after the expiration of the 120. So naandito ang 120 plus 30. But from December 10, 2003 up to October 6, 2010, this is the period of application of BIR ruling number 489-03. Ibig sabihin, if the application is filed during this period, okay, during this period alone, you need not wait for the expiration of the 120 days to appeal to the CTA. Hindi mo na kailangan maghintay na matapos ang 120 days bago ka makaapila sa CTA. Okay? Before you can appeal to the CTA. But after that, after October 6, 2020, babalik ka na naman sa 120 plus 30 days. And note, effective January 1, 2018, 90 days na lang yan. Okay? Kaya tatandaan mo yan na hindi mo na mai-invoke ngayong panahong ito yung DA 489-03 because that is only effective from December 10, 2003 up to October 6, 2010. At during that period, kahit hindi pa tapos yung 120 days, pwede ka nang umapila. Okay? Pwede ka nang umapila sa CTA. You don't need to wait for the expiration of the 120 days. But prior to December 10, 2003, or after October 6, 2010, kung doon sa period na to, ang application mo dito o kaya dito, ay you have to wait for the expiration of the 120 days. Mandatory and jurisdictional yan. But pay attention, starting January 1, 2018, upon the effectivity of the trade law, 90 days na lamang yung period natin. Okay? 90 days na lamang yung period natin. By nature, yung DA 489-03 is what? A general interpretative ruling. So any taxpayer similarly situated can avail or can take advantage or can benefit from that BIR ruling. Hindi yan specific, specific interpretative ruling. Okay? Hindi yan taxpayer specific. Eh kung taxpayer specific kasi yan, ibig sabihin, any person, hindi. Pag sinabi natin specific, okay, ibig sabihin, siya lamang ang pwedeng gumamit nun. Yung taxpayer na nag-avail. Okay? Eh ito, hindi eh. General interpretative ruling yan. At kung general interpretative ruling, anybody, any taxpayer similarly situated may rely on the ruling. Okay? So ang rule ulit natin na mandatory and jurisdictional yung 120 days na yan. Okay, you have 30 days from the expiration of the 120 days to appeal to the Court of Tax Appeals. Pag hindi mo hinintay, denied, premature. Okay, lack of jurisdiction. But the exception is BIR ruling number 489-03. But during a very limited period only, December 10, 2003, up to October 6, 2010 only. Okay? So, balikan natin ha. Okay. Ang requirements natin under Section 112. Okay? I-satisfy mo yan. Yung 6 na yan. Tandaan mo ang prescriptive period. Ang prescriptive period ay 2 years. Counted from the close of the taxable quarter where the sales occurred. Okay? Ito ang sample natin ng pagbibilang ng period. Kaya you have to master this. Okay? And these are the procedure. Within the 2-year period, you have to file a claim for refund. Okay? Submit all the supporting documents. Submit a sworn statement. Okay? Submit a sworn statement stating that all the documents are complete. And without that, hindi yan tatanggapin ng BIR. At pag natanggap na, complete documents, complete submission, okay, the BIR has 90 days under the train law to decide your claim for refund. Under the old code, 120 days. In case of inaction or in case of adverse decision, you have 30 days to appeal to the Court of Tax Appeals. These periods are mandatory and jurisdictional. Okay, save with an exception, the period of effectivity of DA 489-03. Very limited period only. Okay? December 10, 2003 up to October 6, 2010. Ibig sabihin, during this period, kahit hindi pa tapos yung 120 day, pwede ka nang umapila. Okay? Sa Court of Tax Appeals in Division. But outside this period, you must follow the mandatory and jurisdictional period of 120 plus 30 days. Okay?